number 2. John Michael, Grant Hill, and Ashley Shamity. So happy to have you with us here on this Monday night as Ace Bailey works on Smith. He pulls up from the mid-range. Smith rebounds. Bailey tried to pry it away, nothing doing. Amen Thompson, 12.6 rebounds, 3 assists for Thompson. He was a perfect 5 of 5 from the field. Şengün, who's been a hub for these Rockets of the last couple of seasons, finds Smith, who remains red hot.
Well, the same way they started the first half, they start the second half with a Jabari Smith Jr. three-pointer. And down shots at a high clip. This Rockets team is dangerous.
Collier had it poked away by Durant. He rescues, finds Markkanen for a long-range 3. The rim's out. Bailey trying to throw it down. The ball careens to the sideline, and Filipowski can't.
Played well as of late, averaging almost 16 points a game his last few games.
Thompson deals back out to Durant. That ball was knocked away. Collier to the rim. He got grabbed and fouled by Smith. Completing that thought on Ace Bailey. He just seems to
played well. Third youngest starter. Cooper Flagg, Jeremiah Fears, and you see his crop of rookies, and he has shown what he can do. Not necessarily here tonight, but he's had a good month as of late.
Really nice to hear Will Hardy say how Bailey always carries himself with a sense of humility and respect. And Ashley, Coach Hardy had more to say, didn't he?
He did. I talked to him at shoot-around this morning. I said, who do you want to see really just grow and thrive these last couple weeks, almost 2 months of the regular season? He said, if I have to single out one person, it would be Ace. He's our youngest player. He said All-Star really served as a reset for him. It's time to move past the rookie excuses. But he says he's showing a ton of growth on and off the court. And a lot of these guys have a better understanding of what's expected of them, but Ace is still learning that. He just smiled, though, said he is such a bright, funny, energetic kid. He's got such a pure heart, and he loves the game, asks all the questions. So he's really hoping that these next couple weeks here of the regular season can serve as such a growing point for Ace.
No question. Thank you, Ashley. As Thompson twirls inside, he goes with the left hand and lays it in. Timeout.
As an assistant coach for the Spurs, and Will was promoted to an assistant. They were both under Pop, and they just absolutely blossomed. Will telling me that when you're traveling the country, you're at practices, dinners, planes, talking basketball 24/7, you form such a close relationship. And then when Ime got the head coaching job in Boston, Will was one of his first calls. He was an assistant on that staff. The team made it all the way to the finals that year. Coach Hardy telling me he probably wouldn't be where he is today without that opportunity. He said to coach that team, make it as far as we did. He said that time influenced him as a coach more than Ime would ever know. And he said it is very strange looking down and coaching against someone like Ime, just the friendship that they have and how it's really just blossomed over the last couple decades. But man, those two, they just smiled when you ask about one another.
Well done, Ashley. Thank you. As that 3 by Eason doesn't go, and you said it as Collier takes the long lead pass. Can't get it to go, but Bailey's there for the finish. Just to see the smile on the face when they talk about the other, both of them.
Ime is not a good friend the way his team is pouring it on the Jazz here this evening, but two great young coaches. Speaking of greatness right there, Durant, second chance opportunity for KD.
Durant got it back and flipped it in. A double-double already for Durant. 10 points and 10 big assists. If you're just joining us, as Markkanen can't get that to go. The active Eason defended. Eason finds Thompson. Thompson leaks out. Banks it home.
And Thompson so good in the open floor. Just elongates to the rim.
This is a Rockets team that's bottom 10 in fast break points. However, they have been terrific in that department here tonight. 24 points via the fast break. Markkanen is wide open, and he buries the 3. Jaren Jackson loves it.
Can't wait for him to get healthy. I guess he'll be reevaluated maybe
4 weeks, they said, after the procedure. Yeah.
Get a little bit of time before the end of the year, but definitely want to see what this team looks like when fully healthy.
Filipowski got a fingertip on it. There's Collier once again.
And one thing with talking with Will Hardy, you know, they're going through a rebuild. There's some tough moments. But he said he had a locker room of character.
Udoka, you're heading down the stretch. You really want to clean up things heading into the playoffs. We'll get back to this in a moment as Durant finds Smith. Smith took a bump from Markin, and now it's Eason. Eason with a quick trigger had to beat the shot clock. Şengün keeps it alive, and the Rockets reset with a fresh 14. Durant at the elbow. Works in on Collier, twists, fires, can't get the roll, and it's rebounded by Markkanen.
Talking about Udoka, just wanting to make sure the standard is there. Every possession matters. You're right now not just getting ready in terms of playoff positioning, but you're getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
You want to have the right habits, the necessary habits for success. So cleaning up those turnovers, they don't turn the ball over against this Jazz team. They pretty much get whatever they want on the offensive end.
It's so much in the NBA about who's playing the best at the right time. I mean, no team is playing the same in November as they are in January, as they are in March. And the Rockets hope they're trending in the right direction as a Conchar three is long.
And right now, Houston, they're fourth seed in the West. They haven't played great, but they've been really good. And MA just wants them to be more consistent as we go through these last 6 weeks or as the playoffs approach.
What not too many folks talk about is that a couple of major injuries, unfortunately, have been a huge subplot for the Rockets this season. It began way back in September. They were dealt the sobering news that Fred VanVleet, during a team minicamp in the Bahamas, tore his ACL as Smith remains scorching. There's a look at VanVleet. Smith has 27. And then remember, it was announced in late January, another blow. Steven Adams would miss the remainder of this season as Smith elevates for the rebound, shuts down that possession, and out trots Kevin Durant. Durant pulls up. He's got it.
KD making it look easy, just elevating right over Sensabaugh. But, you know, you said it best. Fred VanVleet, Steven Adams, they're vets. They're experienced. They've been through the battles. They understand the importance of bringing Durant's out there. But you got a lot of young faces, a lot of young guys you're leaning on.
You saw the foul there by Shepard on the arm of Collier. There they are talking things out. Will Hardy was Ime Udoka's lead assistant in Boston as they went to the finals.
And Ime Udoka's covering his mouth. We don't want that. We want to read his lips. We want to know what they're talking about. Now the San Antonio Greg Popovich coaching tree on display at half court.
Sets the ball with a rebound. Collier makes his way across the lane. He couldn't get it to go as Shepard defended. Eason rebounded. Here comes Smith. Now it's Durant. Durant skips off to Shepard. Shepard for three. Terrific ball movement in transition. There's a big Capella inside. Capella got where he wanted but could not finish. Sends the ball with his head up. Love squares up for three. Tipped by Conchar, rescued by Mikhailiuk. Back to Sensabaugh, who's got it. Well, the Rockets have zipped the ball all over the joint here tonight. 28 big assists on 38 field goals. Collier's picked up by Shepard. Collier once again works his way inside. He'll float and score.
And you see the strength there of Collier just getting to his spot. Speaking of getting to his spot, KD, one of the best, loves that mid-range off the bounce. So hard to defend.
15 points, a dozen assists. That's a season high for Durant. He's also grabbed 5 rebounds. Here's Love. He's leaned upon by Capella. He'll find the cutter in Conchar, who sweeps one off for a three that's short as Collier can't find the range. 3 to go here in the third. Shepard now to Smith. It's picked up by Love. Eason steps back. Smith over Love. Eason tips it up and in.
Just outworking Utah on that possession, not blocking out. Eason makes him pay.
Eason's coming off a double-double in Madison Square Garden 2 nights ago. He has 11 and 8 here so far this evening. Love goes off the Sensabaugh, who cuts and gets fouled by Shepard.
About how magical it is to be a part of something like the Olympics. And he said there is truly nothing like it. Said for USA basketball, their tradition, all the greats that have been a part of it, said it was so surreal, especially for a guy like him who didn't play in the NBA and wasn't one of the best players in the world, but to be sitting in a coach's meeting with Coach Popovich, Steve Kerr, Jeff Van Gundy, Ime, Jay Wright, also said the pressure of an elimination game, said there is nothing like it, and that is an experience with his friends that he'll just never forget. And I know, Grant, you could talk about this for hours as well.
Yes, I can. And certainly, as you saw that picture, Ashley, just a lot of great basketball minds, and certainly running their teams, respective teams out west. But what a great experience for Will Hardy to be around all those coaching giants.
And guys, speaking of the Olympics even more, Ace Bailey is related to an Olympic gold medalist, his aunt Venus Lacey, and the whole family is a basketball family though. His dad played college basketball right here in Houston. His mom played as well. I asked Ace, I said, I mean, you have an Olympic gold medalist in your family. Who's the baller of the family? And he said it was his mom. Said
VU, thanks Ashley. She coached Ace from the 2nd grade on. Mentioned Venus Lacey, she won gold with Team USA in Atlanta.
Mom didn't teach me any footwork.
Eason for 3. She taught you all the important things.
Yeah, she did.
Long lead pass. Sensabaugh tracks it down, teeters the baseline, deals back to Harkless. Harkless explodes down the lane, ran into traffic, but the ball deflects right to Markkanen, who lays it in. Lowry has a team high 25. Ooh. Oh, did Harkless get buried by Şengün? A big hard screen. Eason pulls it in as Harkless is still shaking off the cobweb. Durant for 3. That was a scary looking collision.
Yeah, and if I'm Harkless, I'm upset with my teammates. You gotta speak. Whoever was setting the screen on Harkless has to make him aware that the screen is coming. That kind of miscommunication could be dangerous.
Sensabaugh works on Durant, steps back and cans a 3.
That was a nice move right there. And even after he made that shot, KD looked at him like, okay, I see you, young fella. Nice move.
Sensabaugh has 19 points in 22 minutes off the Utah bench as Love came out with a nice contest on that Shepherd 3. As out comes Conchar, a lob to Love. Love in the mismatch inside. He'll kiss it off the window. Kevin Rising presence for a mostly young Utah locker room.
Good to have a vet, someone who's been through it all, brings a lot to the table.
Shepherd for 3.
And you said it best. You don't have the point guard. So you have guys like Şengün, you have KD. Because of their one-on-one capabilities, it really puts the defense in an awkward situation. You double team, they will find you. And when they've done that, Houston has been able to convert.
Now the plan all along, even with Van Vliet, was to continue to develop Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd to be ready to at some point step into that point guard spot. Şengün for 3, that's rebounded by Love. But so often this season, more often than not, you look at the box score and it looks like tonight, where Durant leads the way with 12 assists, Şengün has 8.
Well, when you have Durant and Şengün, they have those playmaking abilities.
Yeah.
And really has been by committee, as you mentioned earlier.
Sensabaugh with another triple. That talked about it earlier. Sensabaugh really seemed to be finding a rhythm prior to the All-Star break. Another young player on this Utah team. Şengün inside. He knocks Sensabaugh down. Back it goes to Durant. Durant for 3. Sensabaugh tips it, grabbed by Love. Love snaps an outlet pass to Markkanen as Markkanen throws it down. Kevin Love's middle name is Wesley, named after Wes Unseld. And Eason 6'8", and the springy Thompson is the shortest at 6'7", as Markkanen with a vicious.
These start 3 players at least 6'10". Of course, the Rockets, but then also the Nets. Michael Porter Jr., Noah Clowney, and Nick Claxton. So certainly pays to have size and length if you're in Houston.
Shepherd's no-look pass is picked off by Conchar. Love opens up for 3. Eason tracks down the long rebound almost as Sensabaugh tried to knock it away. I have a sneaky suspicion that the Jazz next season is Harkless with the steal. He'll beat Sensabaugh. So Harkless, after getting picked off hard and hitting the floor on the other side of the break, shakes off the cobwebs, picks up a steal. We approach the midway point of the 4th quarter. Eason started to say you have a feeling that the Jazz might be one of those clubs going with a huge jumbo lineup next season, and that's it. Can't keep winning in perpetuity, a maximum of 2. So those Jazz have the ball back. A Conchar 3 doesn't go. A foul is called. O.J. Mayo, Russell Westbrook, Love's college teammate, and then Kevin as Love inside, tried to poke it in. Love looks to track it down. Bailey gets there. He'll send it all the way up top to Sensabaugh.
Looks like vintage Love on the offensive glass right there.
Sensabaugh fades away. His nice night continues as Sensabaugh now has 26 points in 26 minutes off that Utah bench.
He can score. I saw him play in high school, went to the same high school as my daughters, and saw a lot of him there. And he has really been hot in aggressive scoring from all over for the Jazz.
Teams so often can reflect the personality of their head coach as Smith works his way inside and draws the foul.
Struggling with the wins is vitally important. And then I think it's the character of the guys. You know, these guys are still trying to figure it out. A lot of these young guys.
Then over on ESPN on Wednesday, Thunder, Pistons, Celtics, Nuggets. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. These youngsters with the Jazz know also, Grant, that moving forward, they may be competing against each other for spots. I mean, you have Jaren Jackson, who's going to be back. Walker Kessler will be back as well. They've dealt with a number of injuries as Bailey looks to go baseline, lost the basketball. It's tracked down by Conchar, who pokes it to Harkless. Harkless puts it up, has it blocked out of bounds. The good Bailey gets it off in time by rule if there's more than 0.3 seconds.
Made some changes. You're bringing in Jaren Jackson Jr., Keontae George, the year he's had. So guys trying to prove that they belong. They can be a part of this core, knowing that the future, there's a lot of upside with this group. And who exactly is going to be a part of that remains to be seen.
George has just a load of promise, averaging 24 points a game, and this is third season. He continues to improve by
to the Jazz, hoping that the ping pong balls will bounce their way at the draft lottery. They've never had a #1 overall pick. Maybe that'll change this year. We'll see.
We shall see. George and Markman really have fostered a relationship, and actually you have more.
Yeah, and I was going to say maybe their chemistry just flourished because 2 off feet trip, and he said they're actually putting together a group as we speak to go there again this summer. But 4 or 5 of the guys are expected to go see Finland, experience another culture. Coach Hardy just emphasizing the importance, you guys.
No question. Culture isn't just a word when you're talking about this Jazz organization.
100%. You know, you build that trust, and you can build a sense of being honest and real and comfort with one another. And so I love it, although I hope he's not recruiting him for the Finnish national team.
Holiday badgered by Harkless. There's no sport like basketball in terms of the chemistry being essential. As Shengun tries to bully his way down the lane, he puts it up and draws the foul. If your quarterback doesn't like your middle linebacker.
You need each other. It's a long season. You spend an incredible amount of time together. Like broadcasters, you know, we respect each other, you know.
Indeed.
I think Ashley respects us.
Absolutely, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right,
there's a long pause there, Ashley.
Sorry, I put my mic down. I had to grab it for a minute.
Collier relays, and he'll find Bailey. Back it goes to Collier. Shengun secures his 9th rebound. He is a double-double and a triple-double threat every night. 16 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. The Rockets starting center, and he'll find Smith. What a night. 31 now for Jabari Smith.
And whatever Jabari Smith had for his pregame meal, I suggest he eat that for every meal, because he is a force.
Collier connects. He has 31 here this evening. We approach the 2-minute mark.
Shengun will try to get him another look.
Jabari's ready. There it is. Rebounded by Bailey. Collier on a dead run. Ripping pass to Filipowski, who runs the floor. Filipowski draws the foul. And
He's open. Get him the ball. That's a high percentage shot. Reward the big.
Leading Arsenal looks to widen the gap. The top 4 hopeful. Chelsea is charging. 5 at 11:30 in the morning Eastern on Peacock. 118-101 Rockets. Aaron Holiday has checked in as Ime Udoka has emptied his bench. Holiday floats it up and in. We get a look at Jeff Green in his 18th season. Collier fires a 3. Rebounded by Holiday.
Uncle Jeff.
Uncle Jeff. There he is. Green for 3. Filipowski rebounds. Green is reunited with Kevin Durant 15 years after they began their NBA careers with the Sonics/Thunder, as Filipowski lays it up and in.
And I played against them in their first home game with the Sonics. I was with the Phoenix Suns. And both of them still out here playing and getting a chance. I think they might talk about that after the game.
Holiday gets fouled by Filipowski. Are still active, Grant. They've all played over 1,100 games over 19 seasons. Wild.
It is wild. The longevity, the excellence, the professionalism that those guys all have embodied throughout their...
Well, wrap up the day in the NBA. 3 ball games. This is the 3rd and final. Collier's second free throw is good. Smith goes for 31 this evening for the home club. Grabs 9 rebounds. Amen Thompson 20, Durant 18 and 12 assists. Şengün 16, 9 and 9. A balanced effort here this evening for the Rockets, as a step back jumper by Holiday is good. Nasty, says Kevin.
Yes, indeed. That was nasty. I'll tell you, what an impressive bounce-back game. When they lost to New York can be deflating. You have a performance like that and you lose the way they lost. You just can't wait to play again to get that taste, that bad taste out of your mouth. And mission accomplished for Houston.